Episode of the Team Mania Show. I'm the T. So, today's episode is about the Justice League. The Justice League movie that came out 2017, not the one that comes out tonight, which is, or probably already on, the Zack Snyder's version. I guess the real version. So I think we all know the history of the film, and I'm just gonna give what I've seen over the last few years and what was said in a Variety magazine, which I thought happened. Um, so Batman vs Superman was a flop. It wasn't like a super flop, but it didn't bring in the money that it was supposed to. I mean, this is Batman and Superman together for the first time on the screen. It should be banging, you know. It should be bringing in money. People should be still talking about it. Like, I truly believe if that movie was great, we would have a Superman solo movie sequel by now. I really do. I think that movie was the reason why DC is in the position that they're in right now. Okay, so but nonetheless, they started working on the Justice League film, and unfortunately, Zack Snyder's daughter passed away, so he had to leave the project, and they brought in Josh Whedon. Now, from my understanding, from what the magazine was saying too, Josh Whedon was already there. He was one of the people that was overlooking Zack Snyder's work. You know? And there's a couple other people too, but they all was overlooking Zack Snyder's work. So when Zack Snyder left, Josh Whedon was supposed to take over. Apparently Warner Brothers looked at the film and they did not like it. And they was like, I need you to do some reshots and rewrites, and we're gonna bring these actors in and what have you. And my thing about it is, Zach and Josh are two different types of directors. But I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be 100%. You can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit. That movie, as we know when we watch it, Zach's movie is 4 hours long. And Zach, even though it was very limited, Zach set up the world in a certain way, a rushed way. Like Superman died in the second appearance of a film. You bring in Batman, who's a killing machine, and it's just other things that was going on in that film, in those films. So Zach had to come on. I'm not sorry. Josh had to come on board, do some rewrites, put his own little spin to it. He had to talk to a crew that did not like him. He had to cut out stuff because again the film is 4 hours and they only wanted a 2 hour movie, so he had to cut out a gang of shit. And he had to deal with actors who, you know, they kind of like I feel like they kind of ganged up on him. The ones who have spoken out. I feel like they kind of ganged up on the guy. I ain't gonna say Lottie. I feel he got a raw deal. So the movie itself is I don't know. You can feel that there's two different vibes going inside of it, but at the same time, I kind of like the film. I, I really don't care what other people say. Other people's opinions is their opinion, but here's my opinion. I think the movie is okay. I don't think it's as bad as other people are saying or have said. I really don't. They just the hardcore Snyder fans. They say a lot. They say a lot. They do a lot. And the anti Snyder fans, they say a lot too. I'm not anti Snyder. I just didn't like what he put out. You know, I'm anti Snyder fans though. They are some wild folks. But Josh's movie is okay. It's not great. It feels like it's a mishmash. But again, like the reshots that he did, those are the stuff that Zach had laid out. So whatever you don't like, I'm pretty sure a lot of it has something to do with Snyder. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of it has something to do with Snyder. Because from my understanding, Josh did like what? 30% new filming. That movie's 4 hours long. He did 30% new filming in like, I think they said 3 months. That's not a whole entire. You can't do a movie that large in 3 months with reshoots. It's impossible. Anyhow, um, when looking at this film, it feels like it's a comic book movie. It's very action oriented, so it's not slow paced. We don't get none of those slow fighting that we get from Zach's movies. We get like in your face stuff. Some of the special effects doesn't look all the way done. That's not Josh Swart. He's not in charge of special effects. Um, the jokes, they don't fit well with this film because that's the way Snyder did this. And the thing about it is, this is a comic book film. When you read a DC comic, you got some edgier stuff. Because I read plenty of edgier DC comics, and then you got some light tone stuff. I did not like what Josh did to Batman. Batman's busting jokes like he Tony Stark. I think that was kind of corny. Wonder Woman seems very. She doesn't seem like she was in the last few movies that I saw. Ray Fisher as Cyborg, he's just kind of there. Who else we got on there? We got the Flash, and I don't know what the hell they was doing. I don't know what kind of Barry Allen this is. It's not the Barry Allen that I've been reading. It's not even a Barry Allen I've been watching on TV for 7 seasons. This Barry Allen is, I don't know if he's trying to be Spider-Man or Deadpool or whatever the hell, but he's weird. This is a weird Barry Allen. That was a weird choice in casting, in my opinion. Who else is on there? Oh, Aquaman. Okay, Aquaman is cool. Jason Momoa is cool. You know, I've never been like one of those people like reading comic books that like Aquaman's a corny character, blase blase. I just thought Aquaman was cool. And then in the '90s, they cut his hand off, and he grew a beard, and he had a harpoon on it, and like he was like cool. And I just feel like Jason Momoa is that version of Aquaman, but like with some jokes going on with him. You know what I mean? So like, hey, I think Aquaman was awesome in it. I wish there was more going on for him. I wish there was more going on for him more than anyone else. Say the truth though, because everyone else was just like in the film. And then there's Superman, and I'm gonna say this here, and I don't care what no one says, because this is my opinion. The digital mustache thing, it didn't bother me some. It didn't bother me like everyone tries to make a big deal out of it. They take screen caps and look at this, ain't this weird and alienated? Don't this drive you crazy? Again, that's not Josh's fault. He had to come in for reshoots and he couldn't shave the mustache. They did the best that they can do with it. Okay, so it's like, whose fault is that? It's nobody's fault. But it didn't bother me as much as people try to make a big deal out of it. I don't see how. But the way that Superman is portrayed in this, he's portrayed like how Superman is supposed to be portrayed. I ain't sitting here lying. Him doing Superman things, light jokes, heroic, brave, sunshine, that shit was awesome. Like the way he beat up Steppenwolf, who looks terrible. Awesome, the scene when he lifts up the whole entire building and fly away while the Flash is just pushing a truck. Okay, cool. The post credit scene with him versus the Flash. Even that's cool too. Like that's from the comic books, and he's lighthearted, but at the same time he's still a badass. And that has been the best version of Superman since this whole DCEU started. Seriously, I'm not lying to you. That's what I enjoy. Like the opening scene inside Justice League, where Superman, that's when they screen cap with the face because this thing's all digital out. When Superman is talking to the children, and he's talking to the children, and he's just like saying that it's about hope and everything. I feel like that's Superman, not being depressed that he's there and dark and doomy. Everybody wants to kill him. Nobody wants him around. They want to tear down the statue. Blah 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 blah, and everything. And I understand this is supposed to be a real world, and in the real world, people will probably act like that. They'll probably be like, "Oh, it's an alien here. What's he about? We need to do something about him." But I enjoyed this take on Superman. I really did. You know, I enjoyed the fact that they had the Legion of Doom, setting up the Legion of Doom as another post credit scene. I liked that too. I was excited for that. You know, and this movie flopped. It flopped. I don't understand why it flopped. Not really. I mean, I have my theories, and my theory is this: nobody didn't like Batman vs Superman. Well, not enough people like Batman vs Superman, and that was the last time those characters were all together. They weren't together inside Suicide Squad. That's just Batman and Flash. They weren't together in Wonder Woman. That's just Wonder Woman. They were all together in Batman vs Superman. And when you make a film like this, you have to please the comic book fans, hardcore comic book fans, moviegoers, hardcore moviegoers, and like it or not, children. Because let's be real, children read comics. They watch cartoons. They buy the costumes for Halloween and everything, you know. But I think that the kids didn't, not the kids. I think enough people didn't like Batman vs Superman, and they thought they was gonna get the same shit that they got in Justice League, and I think that's why they didn't show up. I think that's why. I think that's the main reason why. Because you can say, oh, because the director did this and the third. There's been plenty of directors that took it over other directors' roles. You know, they replaced them, or when a sequel came, a new director was brought in, and people go see the film. People go see the film. You know, this they just I truly feel that people just thought it was gonna be the same old nonsense they got before, and it's a shame too because they missed out on a okay kind of good film, okay kind of good, you know. So that's why I give, and I hate doing the half thing, the half a star, but that's why I give Justice League 2.5 stars because yeah, it's a fair film, but it's almost good. It's almost good, you know. I I liked it better than Batman vs Superman. Anyway, I'm the T. If you like this video, click, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Talk to you later.